If you want to move better, you've got to change the way you think. Here's what I mean. This case study is a great example. Photo on the left was this person just before starting the program, taking a photo of what it looks like to bend forward. And you might resonate a lot with this because maybe when you bend forward, maybe it's a struggle to get close to the ground. Maybe you have to bend your knees and shift your hips all the way back. This is a telltale sign that we've lost hip and pelvic mobility. Now, if you feel tight in the hips, what most people will do, because this is how we think, we focus acutely on the hip. We start cranking on a bunch of hip stretches and hip-focused mobility exercises. The head of the hip inserts right underneath the pelvis. The pelvis sits on top of the hip. It should also be able to move freely over the hip joint. Hip mobility is actually the hip and the pelvis, the capacity for both of these joints to move freely together. By putting hip mobility to the side and focusing on how the hip and the pelvis interact with each other, we achieve a result like what we see on the right. There is a massive increase in range of motion, in comfort, and a reduction in lower back pain by looking at how the hip and the pelvis move together, as opposed to just zooming in on the hip mobility alone. So this is how you make a change. If you want to improve the way that you move, let's first improve the way that we're thinking about this problem so we can take a different approach from not just one joint being the problem, but how do we get multiple joints to move better together? I promise you the outcome is going to be significant, like this person experienced.